Tom, what are your thoughts?
I actually agree with that, and Pierce Brosnan would definitely be...
Oh, Brosnan, that's right. Yep, no, it was... Yep, Brosnan was 3 behind all those, so... I don't know how I could forget that one.
So okay, never mind. John Connery, Daniel Craig, Roger Moore, and then Timothy Dalton, and then Pierce Brosnan, and then Lazenby.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know how I forgot about that one. Again, maybe it's the beer. I don't know. Anyway, and who should be the next Bond? I say Hiddleston. I wouldn't mind Elba. I get the race card, at least for this scenario, as to why it can't be Elba. Don't get me wrong, on paper it would be, but I think Bond's just a strictly white role. Tom?
Well, I would actually give it to him. 007 is basically just a title, a code name. Yeah, he could be James Bond. It's just the only thing that really does change when it comes to a Bond is the fact that he's either action-packed or he's some suave character that you don't know what he's going to do next, but he's smart, so he's actually 2 steps ahead of you. So depending on, it doesn't matter what race your James Bond is. It just matters what if he's action-packed or if he's suave. And this is definitely a huge difference between Sean Connery and Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan's James Bond was all about the action, where Sean Connery was all about the suave. He had this thing going, and I can't really do a voice, but I'm going to try it. And it's not on point, so I'm actually going to stop that. But
it sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
Exactly.
Wow. So, my final topic, I'll start out with mine, and then, Tom, you'll go to yours. Ghostbusters. It's an iconic franchise. Some of the most, the best comedians in both, and, the best funny people of all time, I would say. You have Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver, Rick Moranis, Ernie Hudson, don't forget about him. It's a star-studded lineup when you look at it from top to bottom. It cranked out some good movies, and you thought, hey, it's a good 80s set. I think that's that was during the prime of the 80s when things were going really well for the movie industry, and these guys came over from SNL, and and started to come onto the big picture, because that's the projection that you would take following SNL, is to go to either a huge TV show or make movies. Now, it's funny, I didn't hear about this until about, I think, 2 days after I did my last podcast, so that's why I'm only doing this just now. A couple months ago, the new Ghostbusters movie had come out. The lineup is as follows. You have Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones, and Chris Hemsworth. So essentially, what it's doing is it's just switching the roles of the top 4 main characters from males to females, and then of course Chris Hemsworth as well. Watching the trailer, it's essentially the same plot as the original one from '84 so far. Just a little bit more better animation, of course, just considering the time, about 32 years in between that first one and this one. So there really isn't much originality, and what makes it worse is that when you look on YouTube, it has more than 1 million dislikes. You can like a video or you can dislike it. It has more than 1 million, which for a trailer of such an iconic franchise is crazy to think that it has 1 million dislikes. And again, there's not as many likes. I think it's about half of that. Half as many likes for the movie. In my personal opinion, I think people are still going to see it. People are still going to see it because of the title, because of who's in it. I think overall these people in the movies, I like Melissa McCarthy. Kristen Wiig's fantastic. First of all, I think I have a huge man crush on Kristen Wiig. Kate McKinnon's fantastic in whatever she does, and so is Leslie Jones from SNL. And then, of course, Chris Hemsworth's kind of funny, and of course, he's that suave character that'll attract a fair amount of audience into that movie regardless. So we'll see. Again, it's not the best trailer when you look at it. There are other trailers that I think this summer that are going to do better. But I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be an interesting movie. Tom, what are your thoughts?
I'm partial to the original Ghostbusters and the Ghostbusters 2. What they are doing is trying to revolutionize Ghostbusters and to gender swap pretty much every single character in that film. It's going to be hard to win over most of the Ghostbuster fanatics. I could see it happening only as minimal as possible because it was an original franchise, and what they're doing pretty much is like Blues Brothers 2000 to the original Blues Brothers. It was a poor choice, shouldn't have happened, but they went and did it anyway because they knew they could make a few extra bucks out of it. So I'm going to go see it. I'm going to keep my mind open, but in the end, I don't know if it'll be as good or a little bit good as Ghostbusters.
Okay. So that's my final topic. Tom, what do you got?
Okay, so since we were talking about football earlier and we've been drinking, I tried to put those two together and I got the top 10 quotes from John Madden.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, actually, before we do that, Tom, let me pull up some NFL music because I know I have some in the stash here. So just bear with me here. I know it's in here somewhere, and give me a second. I know. Okay, hold on. Because that is something I haven't done in quite a while. I haven't put up any NFL music just because we haven't really needed it. Football season's kind of over. Been over the last couple months, so we've just been hanging out. So let me pull that up here. Okay.
Well, the OTAs have started, by the way. So the Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys were both in practice, and ESPN, said their things about what's happening in camp, what they expect, hoping that Des Bryant can actually be a contributor this season, and hopefully Tony Romo can come back from his collarbone injury. So hopefully he does and makes the NFC East a little bit more competitive. But
okay, we got it now. So here we go. Okay. Music for top 10 John Madden quotes.
If this team doesn't put points on the board, I don't see how they can win. Number 10. Number 9. If this quarterback throws the ball in the end zone and the wide receiver catches it, it's a touchdown. Number 8. Reuben Brown made that play there. Well, he missed the guy completely, but he was able to create just enough room for Thomas Jones by whiffing me. The errors created on this miss gave Jones enough space to score. That was a long quote. Sorry about that. Number 7. When you have great players playing great, well, that's great football. Number 6. You see, the thing is, he should have caught that ball, but the ball is bigger than his hands. Number 5. It's 3rd and 20. They need a good play here. Number 4. If you lose your best cornerback and punter, I'd say that's a double loss. Number 3. The best way to gain more yards is advance the ball down the field from the line of scrimmage. Number 2. A team should never practice on a field that is not lined. Your players have to become aware of the field's boundaries. Number 1. There's a lot of letters in LaDainian Tomlinson. And for a bonus, the offensive linemen are the biggest guys on the field. They're bigger than everybody else. And that's what makes them the biggest guys on the field. And that was John Madden's top 10 quotes. Top 10 dumbest quotes.
I think the LaDainian Tomlinson, no question, is number 1. Tom, thank you for that segment. That was, of all the segments you've done for your final topic, that has to be up there in the LaDainian Tomlinson category as best ones. So, wow, I only needed one song for NFL Primetime, so thank you for them. Might get copyrighted, but oh well. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Cheers, Tom, to a great episode.
Hey.
To a beer episode. So, next episode, I will probably be doing, I would say, either Friday or next week before I go over to Philadelphia. And we're definitely doing one, I would say, from Philadelphia. So, because Tom's bachelor party's going on. Whoop! That'll be exciting. So, we'll see what happens there. Tom, thank you again. Always appreciated that. So, last song here of the day, Danger High Voltage Electric 6 on the Spicy Sports Show with Sam Strone and Tom Crane. Till next time, see ya.
Peace.
It's my desire.